Right, so it's Alan from Conservation Areas Wirral. Now, after all of the blue plaques that you've put up around the peninsula, what's your organisation up to nowadays?
Well, we're still involved in installing new plaques, but we're waiting on the council basically because we've given them a new information thing which they can update the leaflet on, but also we're continuing to talk to them about new plaques. But we need the council to be able to do that in tandem with Conservation Areas Wirral.
Yeah. So apart from the plaques, what else are you up to as well?
Well, we spent the last year talking to the local council about their local plan, the local plan for the Wirral.
Yeah.
And we were determined to get in the local plan, on the face of the plan, the policy framework for each of the 26 conservation areas. So they've agreed that now, and it's been included in the plan.
Yeah.
But it took a lot of time, negotiation, etc., to achieve that. But we're pretty happy with what we've now got in the plan, which has been published and will be examined shortly by inspectors to actually determine whether the plan is sound or not.
Yeah, 26.
It's a 15-year period. The plan covers a 15-year period.
Okay, we said 26 conservation areas.
Oh, sorry. There are 26 conservation areas in the Wirral.
Just goes to show just that fact that there's that many on a relatively small peninsula. There's 26.
Well, the Wirral's it's quite a remarkable place in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of semi-rural and then very urban.
That's right. It's been described as industrial on the east coast and rural on the west. Yeah.
Which is why, in a sense, there's been so much conversation about saving the green belt. So almost like a green lung in the middle of the Wirral. And there's going to be a hearing shortly into Leverhume's proposals to develop 8 new housing areas, all in the green belt, basically. And that's causing some real friction.
Yes, there's been news articles on that. Yeah, there's a lot of friction, and groups like yourself who are,
Well, there's a Wirral Green Space Alliance as well, which are going to contest those applications. So hopefully, whatever decision is made, and we hope it's not to invade the green belt, we then move on to the local plan, which then gets examined by government inspectors, and which is basically a brownfield first strategy. So you don't touch the green belt, and you build any new houses in brownfield in the non-green belt areas of the Wirral. And the council think there's enough of them to sustain the number of houses that they've got to build over the period.
For many years, I mean, there must be a lot of brown belts.
There's a lot of brownfield land,
There must be a lot of it, from different, what does that include, like different housing estates that have been removed in the past, or industrialist areas? And
well, most of the brownfield area is areas that were built on, but they've either been demolished or they've changed in some significant way. So but the basic issue about developing that is then what kind of housing can you put on that land like that? Is it saleable? Is it what people want? Has it got to be all flats, or can it be a combination of flats and houses, etc.? The Wirral Council are fairly sure that they can deliver the plan and the number of houses they have to deliver over that period now.
Well, one example I just thought of is the new houses on Beaufort Road, just by Birkenhead North Station.
Yes.
That was a brown site.
Yeah, that's a brownfield site.
That used to be that's where all the houses were, and there was one house left on its own, and then so that was a brownfield site which was housing, which were flattened. Was it the 80s, late 70s?
I think so, flattened in the 80s.
Yeah.
But the other big bit
and now rebuilt as new houses. Yeah.
The other big bit now is basically rural waters.
Yes.
With Peel.
Yeah.
And you can see the first new housing bits going in now, the small houses, and then there's 3 blocks of major flats, and that's going to be really the major supply bit of the greenfield sites.
Yeah. So is that labelled as a brown site as well?
Yeah, that's labelled as a brownfield
because it
site.
was it was industrial.
It was part of the docks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the docks.
So it's making use of wasted land nowadays.
Right. Yeah.
You know, instead of touching.
Well, instead of warehouses.
Instead of touching the fields in Staunton.
Yeah.
They're touching the docks.
The docks. Yeah, you're changing the docks. I mean, you are changing the character of the docks, of course.
Yeah.
But that, I think most people feel that that's preferential to them building on green fields.
Oh well, there's been lots of docks regeneration in all sorts of cities around the country, hasn't there? You know.
Well, just look at the Liverpool side.
Over in Liverpool, you know, with Waterloo Warehouse and the new one right next to it, and the big towers and stuff like that. You
That's
know,
right.
You know, where the Riverside train station used to be and stuff like that.
So Wirral really need. Well, they are. Wirral Waters is proceeding now on the lines of Liverpool, and there's going to be a lot more housing built in the next 15 to 20 years. And without that, I think Wirral would have had a problem justifying not having to go in the green belt. So the Wirral Waters becomes critical.
Yeah. So that being said, it's all green future, we hope.
We hope.
Yeah. Oh, great. Well, thanks for talking to us.
Okay, thanks, Andy. Thanks.